Eddie, the boy in the narrative, is the owner of multiple pets, and Delia, her sister, kills it every time. Rony Diaz's tale is titled The Centipede. The author was born in Region 3, which is where the novel is set. Let's now move on to Eddie's life narrative. Hi there, let me tell you a story about how Eddie sees her sister Delia beat up his dog Biryuk with a stick. This makes Eddie very angry and he wants to run over and help Biryuk, but he can't, for the simple reason that Delia has some kind of heart disease. Suddenly confronting her will surprise her and cause her weak heart to react. If this happens, Delia will be in a lot of physical pain.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, so let me tell you about how Eddie got his revenge on her sister.
In a flashback, Eddie tells the story of how he got his dog Biryuk. He was 13 years old when his father took him to go hunting for brown pigeons. While scouting for pigeons with his hunting rifle in the ready, a small dog appeared out of the woods and disturbed a flock of feeding pigeons. This afforded Eddie full of sight of the fleeing pigeons. Eddie fired, and three of the pigeons fell to the ground. Eddie asked his father if he can keep the dog. His father said yes, but told him that if someone goes around looking for the dog, Eddie should give the dog back. He didn't want his son to be accused of being a dog thief. Eddie and Biryuk became the best of friends. Every afternoon after school, Eddie and the dog would run around the fields, chasing after quails or squishing birds at the nearby riverbank.
Hi, just got home from the university. Let me continue the story I was telling you about while tidying up my room. Let's go.
Beaten up, the dog scampers away as Talia throws a stick after it. Talia calls Eddie over and twists his ear. She tells Eddie that she doesn't want to see the dog near the house ever again. She tells him that the dog has destroyed his slippers again. She also threatens to have the dog killed by Berto, a household member, if she sees it near the house again. Dahlia pushes Eddie and stumbles to the ground. Angry and filled with hate, Eddie remains calm and doesn't do anything. Another flashback. Eddie recalls something that happened between him and his sister back when they were a bit younger. Eddie accidentally broke the leg of his sister's play doll as well as destroyed her playhouse. She started beating Eddie with this tree sampling.
Now I'm gonna cook my breakfast while telling the story.
But then suddenly, she stiffed and collapsed to the floor, with furt forming around her mouth. She was taken to a nearby hospital. When she returned home, she was more meaner than ever towards her younger brother. She did everything to destroy things that Eddie liked. She had Eddie's pet monkey killed by Berto because the monkey snickered at her. She told her father that Eddie's pet pigeons stink, so Eddie had to give them away. Eddie didn't complain because he knew that everything had to be done to keep his sister calm and quiet. Making her unhappy might make her heart illness rear its ugly head.
Gonna eat first, then continue the story. Gonna proceed with the story while cleaning the dishes.
But when Dahlia destroyed Eddie's pet butterflies, he came to realize that Dahlia was only doing the things to spite him. The butterflies didn't stink, nor did they snicker at her. When confronted by their father, Dahlia responded that the butterflies were attracting ants, which was not true at all. Eddie follows after Beryuk, which has fled to the bushes. He finds the dog whimpering with one of its eyes bleeding. The eye got hit with the stick when Delia was beating it moments before. Eddie screamed in anger and frustration. Frightened by Eddie's outburst, the dog stumbles and fled. Eddie doesn't bother running after it. On his way back home, Eddie finds Berto splitting wood. Berto shows him a centipede that he pinned to the ground with a small stick. The centipede is still alive. Eddie picks up another stick and sticks it into the body of the centipede until he thinks it's dead. He picks up the centipede and wraps it inside a handkerchief. Back home, Eddie finds Dahlia sitting on a chair and working on a project. Dahlia has her back towards Eddie. Eddie approaches her, unwraps the centipede, and throws it on her lap. Dahlia shrieks in horror, stands up, turns around, and sees Eddie, but she collapses again to the chair, clutching her chest and writhing in pain. Dahlia accuses Eddie of trying to kill her. Feelings of pity and guilt engulfs Eddie. He tries to explain to Dahlia that the centipede is dead. He picks up the creature and pinches the head between his fingers. Dahlia doesn't respond nor move.
Now, let us proceed to the lesson of the story. The story is about resentment and revenge. Eddie did everything to be understanding, but as we all know, people have their limitations. As for Dahlia, don't do unto others what you do not want others do unto you. It is a basic human descent. Revenge can't satisfy us, but forgiveness can. We all should be able to forget. It's the season of giving, right? Let us focus on things that truly matter.